Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over the PM Silver Bullet on January 17th. So let's go to the Kraken Silver Bullet Pro and let's turn on the lunch, New York lunch, and see where those are at. I like to start with New York lunch. Okay, so I come to the chart at 130, right around 130, and I look and see if one of these liquidities have been taken, and obviously lunch has been taken. So then I'm actively trading from 130 on, looking for a reversal and to go up and take this high. Does it always do that? No. But I'm looking for 25 or 37 points with two contracts, so I don't necessarily need to hit here unless I'm going to trail it up. Okay, so right now, for me, if we're just right here where we're at, I'm looking for this to be taken. Okay, to be a market structure shift. Now, at 130, I'm looking for this to be taken. And then we create another swing high, come down and break this low. Now I'm looking for this swing high. Then I'm looking for this swing high. So it just keeps going down until it's broken and I get a market structure shift. It's not cherry picked and I'm picking this one. That is the swing high that I'm looking for at the moment. Okay, if this creates another low, then whatever the swing would be, the next swing that I'm looking for. Okay. Okay, so there you have a market structure shift right there. Okay, let's mark out our fair value gap there and our breaker block here. There's another fair value gap right down here. Let's see what happens here, if it just comes back or not. I'm not taking an entry, but that's right where I would have wanted to enter right there. If it doesn't come up here, it's rejecting, I'd be wanting to enter here. But I'm going to wait for 2 o'clock and see what happens. All right, so there is a fair value gap right there. Wait for 2 o'clock. There's 2 o'clock. Could have entered at that fair value gap right there. Could have entered right there to go higher. Obviously, it doesn't want to go back below this, so it's not going to come back down there. If it comes back into that fair value gap or the breaker, I'm taking an entry. All right, I bought there. Horrible spot. This is where I would have been right here. Okay, so let's move our stop to where I would have been. Move our take profit to up here, right? Now, yes, I usually go 25 points. On here, I would have gone 37 points. But with the target so high and just having this right here, I would want to trail this up and see if I can get that many points. So I'm going to trail the stop as I would have using this, trailing it up. So let's just see what happens here. That would have been a better entry right there to market order in. Okay. So I won't start trailing my stop until we get 3 PD arrays. I'm going to do the 3 PD array rule. I don't know if it's an ICT rule, but it's definitely my rule. I learned it from somewhere. I don't know who I learned it from. I think it was ICT. All right, so there's your first fair value gap right there. Okay. So there's one PD array. And no, I'm not doing breaker right yet. I'm just using the fair value gaps. So there's another one right there. There's 2. Oh, this is going to leave me a fair value gap here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So now we're in profit. Now we're going to the bottom of this fair value gap right here. Why? Because 1, 2, 3. There's my stop. Now, yes, I'm severely in profit right here. I'm, 37 and a half. I already hit my target, maybe. Nope. Didn't hit 37 and a half yet. Now you did. But we're going to keep trailing until we hit our target here. So there's a small little fair value gap right there. You can see that little blue right there. If you zoom in here, you can see it right there, right? So there's one right there. Volume imbalance and right there. So let's a fair value gap. So let's move our stop here right up to here. Okay. I'm zooming in because some of this stuff is pretty small. Okay, let's see here. Okay, that leaves another fair value gap. 3 PD arrays. Count them. 1, 2, 3. So now we are at the bottom of this. I got one or more right there. Okay. Locking in 375. Right. Had you taken a partial, you could have put a partial at the 37.5, locked in 700 and some bucks, 750, and then you can trail up. That's usually how I do it if I'm trading the 2 contracts. I like to lock something in and then trail the rest of it. But we'll see how this goes. I'm just doing 1 contract, and we're trailing it up. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, 1 got violated. Could come back and take us out. So you have this fair value gap right here. So let's mark that out here. Really small. Oh, it's a fair value gap right there. So this would be moving it right up to here. Okay. Okay, we got a big fair value gap here. You also have a mitigation block right there. So I'll count this as 1 here. I'll put the fair value gap there, and so I'll count this as 1 here. So this is 1 cluster. 2, 3. I'll leave it right here. Actually, you know what? We're going to move this up because we'll count those as 2. Okay. Because if it's going to come back, it's going to break a fair value gap, a mitigation block, a fair value gap, and this. It's actually 4 different PD arrays. They overlap, so I like to count overlapping ones as 1. So this one's pretty much the same as the breaker. I'm sorry, the mitigation block. So if I didn't take the mitigation block, you're still at 3. Okay, so that's why I moved it up. Okay, so let's see how we're at here. There's 1. Okay, so there's another fair value gap. So let's move this up. This is fair value gap. I gotta have this right color. My OCD won't let me do that. This is not pink either. This is fair value gap. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. So 3. Let's move it up to here. Locking in 750. Still giving it room to breathe. So let's see how this goes here. Okay. There. Done. Okay, so let's recap here. We came to the, after 1:30, we come to our charts. We saw that the New York lunch sell side liquidity was taken. We start looking for a reversal, or if it's going to reverse, looking at price action. So we kept marking out our swing highs to see what needed to be taken. We've had this one that was the low. This was the market structure shift when it broke it. So then we marked out our breaker block. We marked out our fair value gaps. It hit the hit the breaker block and fair value gap and started going higher. We still waited for the 2 o'clock hour. And we had a fair value gap here. We didn't enter the first time, but we finally did enter, right? So as price started making 3 PD arrays and we got in good profit here, we went to break even and we started trailing our stop. Always behind 3 PD arrays. As it made a new one, we moved it up. As it made a new one, we moved it up. All the way to the top. We ended up with our stop loss here as it took us out, but still giving it room to breathe. If you break 3 PD arrays, you want to be out anyway. Chances are it's going against you. So I like to trail my stop when I have a big target difference. Otherwise, I like to aim for 25 or 37.5. And yeah, so that is your PM Silver Bullet on Wednesday, January 17th, using the Kraken Silver Bullet Pro indicator.